Next to me is Nick Zeraldo. He's a project lead for Honda accessories in the product development space. And in front of us is kind of like a skunk works project of yours almost.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this exactly?
This is the Honda Motocompacto. It's a seated e-scooter, first and last mile mobility solution.
First and last mile. Not necessarily the miles in between, but depending on how long the trip is, maybe those two. What was the motivation behind having this collapsible, highly mobile electric scooter as part of Honda's offerings?
Yeah, we were inspired by the original Honda Motocompacto from the early 80s that was sold in Japan. We wanted to bring the spirit of that transforming, compact, last form of mobility to the new modern electric era.
Yeah. Now, inspired by that, and it's very good, but that ultimately was a very different piece. That was a 2-cycle gasoline engine, weighed 100 pounds, had to stay upright because it had gas and oil in it and all these types of things. This is 41 pounds, fully electric, hovering around half a horsepower, give or take, depending on, specific peak outputs and those types of things. 36 volt battery, which is good for around 12 miles, I think you said?
Yep, 12 miles of range.
And then this will go as quickly as 15 miles an hour.
That's correct.
What led to those specs? Why 12 miles of range? Why 15 miles an hour?
So 15 miles an hour classifies this as you don't need a license or registration to ride it. For all intents and purposes, it's a toy. So that's at the max speed. And then the battery, we optimized the size of the battery to increase the range as far as we could, while also keeping the motif of this compact shape. So it was a balance and trade-off for all those specs.
And it's plastic, but then it's an aluminum frame, is that correct?
Yep, it's a heat-treated aluminum frame, welded, and then we have redundant latching mechanisms at all of the fold points to ensure that it's secure, ready to go for everybody.
And when you say fold points, you mean like the handlebars, you flip this latch up right here, or you push this down and flip this up.
There you go.
And then this twists, things like that.
That's correct.
And then every element of it, the seat comes apart in a specific way, this folds down in a specific way, even the way the foot pegs fold and the rear wheel actually slides into the case. There's a lot of safety built into it so that you don't accidentally let this thing fall apart on you, basically.
That's correct. And then we also have sensors in the main folding mechanisms so that the scooter won't give the front motor power unless it's completely deployed in its correct configuration.
Okay. Now, the battery would be in this casing here. Is the electric motor part of the rear wheel?
The electric motor is in the front wheel, and then
the electric motor is front. Okay.
And then the rear wheel is a rear drum brake.
So it's rear brake only, kind of like a go-kart. Front wheel drive, we could say. Is the motor in the wheel?
That's correct. It's part of the assembly.
Okay, very good. And I was actually quite pleasantly surprised by the price, $995. What were the decisions that had to be made to get the price of, a mobile, lightweight, compact mobility machine that inexpensive?
So we really wanted to make it affordable to be able to attract every customer.
Yeah.
And it was really important to us that we could maintain that MSRP as we developed and constructed this. That way it could be a nice entry point into our brand. Somebody who's in the car market, but somebody who may not necessarily be in the new car market currently.
Maybe not old enough for a license.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm much more curious, why was this like a side project? This is something you did after hours. This was not part of your main job. Why is that? Why was this a side project?
Well, it started as a sketch from one of our designers in our North American auto design department. And then we all saw it, or the few of us that did see it, thought it was really cool from the beginning. And so a small group of volunteer firefighters, very grassroots, all decided that we wanted to make a swing at this thing. And then Honda's a unique place where if you can mature your concept and propose it to the company, our executives will support and champion that and then launch it onto the big stage.
But why keep it secret? Why can't you why can't you propose it and then do it during business hours?
Well, for our organization, we couldn't, quit our day jobs, so we still do auto development.
So
during the day.
it was do your job plus
Right.
this. Yes. Okay.
We'll let you try, but keep everything moving.
It's a super cool concept, and it's really interesting, and it does marry well into Honda being pretty rapid about electrification now that it has started with the Prologue and the ZDX on the Acura side. Do you see more coming from this? Do you see this as a starting point?
Yeah, very much so, a starting point. Honda, we have a very diverse lineup of products, from seated e-scooters now all the way up to the Honda Jet, and every product in between.
Yep.
So I believe as we move into this new era of electric mobility, there's a lot of white space where we can innovate and create more new exciting products like this to find a mobility solution for a specific test.
Well, Nick, I do find it super interesting. I think it's really fascinating to see an automotive company. I know that Honda is really more than that, but in this automotive space, we're seeing branching out into that last mile approach to going electric and mobility. And I was very honored that you guys actually let me drive it myself, or ride it. And I have a link to that video right there. But thank you so much for the time and talking with me.
Yeah, thank you. It was very nice to meet you.
I really appreciate it.